beautiful facility, right?
Yeah.
What's the purpose for the fans out there of the day of game shoot around? What are you trying to get accomplished?
I mean, you're trying to just plant a seed again, because we had practiced previously, but I think the morning shoot-arounds to plant a seed of what is going to take place in 7 or 8 hours. I think that that concept is being challenged a lot lately. I feel like we all thought we had to do that to stay prepared and continue to work. You know, I think when you explore the league, there are times, lots of coaches now, they meet at arenas, and, you know, sports science gets involved a little bit. But today, here we are, and that is the purpose, to just touch bits of what's going to happen tonight.
So when you're talking about that, when you're making that decision to shoot or not,
Yeah.
based on what are the criteria do you decide? Is it your youngness as a team? Is it we need extra preparation? How do you decide if you're going to shoot on the day of the game or if you're going to just meet at the arena later?
Right. It's always, for me, a gut feel on their health. And sometimes when it's not clear, it's like a line ball, you know, well, then we do it. When it's clear, like we got in late or we had a really good practice the day before, then we don't. Sometimes you need to make a statement. Sometimes, no matter what's going on, we have shoot around. Last night wasn't good enough. And so there's no like cookie cutter template. It's more, as you know, just gut feel, but it's really challenged. The days of shoot around, I think especially, are being challenged lately.
And so when you come in to shoot around like you did today, you've got Oklahoma City with their greatness coming at you tonight. Are you spending most of your time in the hour or so that you spend on the floor talking about what you need to do better from previous games, or how you're going to stop or try to stop and slow down Oklahoma City?
Yeah, it tilts more toward Oklahoma City. I think the holy grail to the whole thing is how do you connect the dots from the game you just played and the game you're about to play and find a common denominator that can apply to both situations, where you can reference, we did this well or we didn't, and we're going to have to do this, you know, better or stay the same for tonight. If you can find that sort of cross-pollination of a common area, then I think you've struck gold. But for the most part, like, you put last game to bed in some way and you come in and you deal with tonight's game.
So you're done here, 7 hours till game time. Now what? Like, are you a sleeper? Are you an obsessor over details? You exercise? What do you do?
I like to, I don't sleep. I like to exercise. I'll go home and, you know, clean up my thoughts, figure out what I'm going to wear in the evening. You know, you go and...
You do that yourself? You pick out your own
stuff?
stuff?
Lots of times my wife chooses my tie, or one of my daughters, you know, back when they were in the house. Yep, it helps me. My taste is average, but they steer me straight. And, you know, slowly sort of get my life in order and what I want to do. And then I like to head to the arena early. I like to bunker in and, you know, spread my stuff out on a desk. I run before every game except one that I've ever coached here. I've been lucky, I guess, with the weather. And
oh, you run outside?
I do. I like to cleanse my mind. Sometimes it's really cold. And as I said to many, like when we're losing, I run faster in the city of Philadelphia. But I run. I like to
How long? How far?
About 4 or 5 miles. I go for about, you know, 45 to 50 some odd minutes. And I don't go fast, but I don't stop. And it just lets me clean my head. Like, you come back and, you know, you're just good to go. You feel a little bit sharper.
You know, saying that, how you said you clear your head, how did you sustain yourself when in previous years, before you had true NBA winning talent like you do now, how did you sustain yourself for so long and keep that optimistic but realistic approach that the city of Philly has embraced? I mean, they love you, and that's hard to pull off. Like, in this town, when you've lost, how did you keep yourself sane through all of it?
I wouldn't have been a good coach if they had hired me when I was 36 here. That's the first thing. And because you know, you're older and you've had a chance to see success as a head coach and with my years with Pop, and I've been privileged to be around great coaches and a lot of great teams. And so my vision line and the purpose of why I felt like I took this job, what is my responsibilities while I'm here, why did I accept the challenge? It was about trying to like build something. You felt, where in life can you have a chance to put your own thumbprint on a culture? That sort of, nebulous word, what really is it? And I felt like we could actually do it here in an amazing city, and to try to grow it through that vision line. And I never left sort of the areas of development and relationships. And those two areas, if I could be a really good leader, both with my staff and with my players, and understand that relationships rule the day, and that helping people help themselves get better can connect the dots to not having meltdowns, then we can hold this together and we can move it forward. And we might trip on a keeper. We could find Robert Covington or TJ McConnell. And we knew we were going to be getting high draft picks. And so the plan wasn't a mystery. We knew what we were getting into. It went a little bit longer than we all thought. But those sort of core, lessons for me to myself, where you just went overboard trying to be a good leader with relationships and development, held us, I think, in good stead.
So to the next step, how do you keep young players selfless? So Simmons plays a selfless game. Embiid is this incredible talent. Fultz, we don't really know yet what he's going to be, but how do you keep them all willing to share and sacrifice for the common good?
I mean, first, I think you hit it right in the head and you admit this is the problem with unsuccessful teams. It's the human side that can get ugly when you start getting into the disease of me. And, we articulate that message clearly and we hold no punches. This is a thing that can break up you guys. You need each other. The notion that people can do it all by themselves nowadays is so false. And because of the examples we've seen all over the place, with the Miami crew and what's going on in Golden State, what they're trying to pull off with our game tonight in OKC, you need talent, and you've got to have allies. The complete sentence of, what do you do to help somebody else? We get you. What do you do to help somebody else is a free sentence that we talk about all the time. And so how do I grow those three as leaders? How do they help themselves? How do they understand that leadership is organic? There's no book to tell you what it looks like. All you guys are going to find your own way, shape, and form to lead. And it's derived by and large through people's personalities. And so Ben isn't, very vocal. Neither was Duncan. Joel's out there. Joel's got this boisterous spirit. Markel's sort of this is new and, alive, and he really hasn't been that much a part of us recently, but I can see how the three can coexist. And I think if you would ask me what's the number one thing that I feel like I got to do here, it's grow those three as leaders.